properties you can use to solve an equation. If you know how these properties work, then you can kind of speed up your work a little bit in class. So let's talk about the first one, commutative property. So again, this is for 3-1. All right, so we have commutative property, and we can abbreviate that by putting COMM. Okay, commutative property basically means that you have a number and you're adding it to another number, means that you can also flip those numbers around. Okay, so when you're adding, it doesn't matter which order the numbers come in. With multiplication, the same thing applies. So if we were multiplying A times B, we could also flip those around and do B times A. So when adding and subtracting, it does not matter what order your numbers go in. The next property is associative property. And if we're going to abbreviate this one, let's make sure we abbreviate it like so. Associative property has a set of parentheses. That's one thing. It's talking about different types of groupings. So depending on how you group it, you should get the same answer. So let's say we were grouping A plus B, and we were adding it to another number like, let's say, C. Again, I could change this grouping to be A by itself plus the group of B plus C. It doesn't really matter where I put those parentheses because, again, I'm adding. I can add in any order I wish. Same goes for multiplying. If I was doing A times B and then multiplying that by C, it would be the same as if I moved those parentheses and I did A times B times C. So again, with associative property, you can do either direction on that and you'll get the same answer. All right, so let's look at an example. If I gave you -4 times 9, again, that could be the same thing as 9 times -4. Okay? Either way, you're going to get the same answer. So if you have something like this, doing associative property would look something like this. If I had 18 plus 4 plus 6 would equal the same as 18 plus 4 plus 6. It does not matter which order you put these numbers in. You're going to get the same answer no matter what. So let's solve one. All right, if I was going to solve 29 plus 37 plus 1, I can do 37 plus 1 first. I could do 29 plus 37. I could even do 29 plus 1 plus 37. Again, does not matter the order. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 29 plus 1. Let's just do something different. So I'm going to add these two together, which I know will give me 30. And then I'm going to do 30 plus 37. Adding those two together would give me 67. So this might become a little faster way to do your math rather than having to add these together and then just add the 1. Find a pattern that, oh, I know if I did 30 plus 37, well, 3 and 3 is 6. It makes it a little faster for you and you can move on a little faster. Okay, let's try one with a fraction, since fractions always seem to give you guys a hard time. So we have 7 times 2/9 times 1/7. Okay? Now remember, when multiplying, you do not need common denominators, so that's kind of cool. So we can just leave that alone. So what two can I multiply right away? Well, technically, this 7 is like 7 over 1. So let's combine these two together. So I would have 7 over 1 times 1 over 7. Now, if you remember in class, you can cross cancel. Cancel, 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 cancel. They all go into each other one time. So I'm left with 1 times 2 over 9, which is very easily known as 2 over 9. So very quickly I can multiply these together knowing these different types of properties. Okay? So the next property I want to talk to you about is distributive property. Okay? So we have distributive property. Distributive property is where you take a number and you distribute it to everything on the inside. So you have A times B plus C becomes this number on the outside going to everything on the inside. So it's A times B, which will be AB plus A times C, which would be AC. Okay? And that's all that means. If you were subtracting, it'd be the same setup. If we had A and B take away C, same kind of setup. We just take the A to everything on the inside, so we do AB, take away AC. There you go. So let's look at that with some numbers. If I did 9 times 31, all right, let's say that was 9 times 30 plus 1. Same kind of thing. So I would do 9 times 30 plus 9 times 1. Okay, 9 times 30 is going to give me 270 plus 9 times 1 is 9. Add those two together and I get 279. Again, you can do it this way, or you can write it out in distributive property and make it go a little faster. Let's try this one. If I have 8 times 59, all right? So I'm going to do this as 8 times 60 minus 1, because 60 take away 1 would be 59. Now distribute that 8 times 60, take away 8 times 1. 8 times 60 I know is going to be 48, add a 0, so 480, minus 8 times 1 is 8. Okay, subtract those two numbers and I get 472. All right, well that's about all that you really have to work with on this lesson. So hopefully that helps you with your homework.